What's going on with the truckers? Today we interview Rocky, who has flipped off over 300 or 400 police officers, state patrol, DOT on video. And today we're gonna figure out a little bit into the mind of why he does this. There was a video that was going pretty viral recently, shared by other YouTubers, that basically he flips off, gives a middle finger to a state trooper, and the state trooper pulls him over, and then they have basically some kind words. But
no, really no. But let me give you a call back.
What was the display of the middle finger back there?
What'd you pull me over for?
Because I can do an inspection. That's why.
But I'll show you some clips. But here's the interview, and after this, maybe you'll get a better understanding of who Rocky really is.
Let me give everybody a takeaway. One of the things I want everybody to do is do not do what I do. Do not do what I did unless you are supported by the people who hire you. Because if you make them look bad, then they can make your job go away. So make sure that you're covered before you ever do something like this. I made sure thoroughly that both my bosses supported this before I ever conceived of doing it. So don't just do this recklessly. Do it with think about it. And then know what you're going to say before it happens. Because you know what the cop's going to say. Why'd you do that to me? Or I'm just going to do a random inspection without, and he may not even mention the middle finger. So this is education and entertainment. You don't know. Really don't know. But let me give you a call back. There you go.
So why'd you flip me off?
You can do an inspection?
Yeah.
All right.
You don't want to answer my question?
Do I have to?
No, you don't have to. Is there anybody back there?
Yep.
Okay. Can I see?
No.
Give me your license. Okay. Now I'm going to read you something.
Sure.
No person shall willfully fail or refuse to comply with any lawful order or direction of any officer authorized by law to enforce this chapter and to perform vehicle and driver motor carrier safety inspections on this chapter. Lawful orders or directions shall include providing documentation and answering questions necessary to determine compliance with the provisions of this chapter. Any person who violates this section shall be guilty of a Class C misdemeanor.
Awesome.
Okay?
Awesome.
So when I asked for his stuff earlier, there was no reason.
Did I refuse to do something lawfully?
I think you did.
You think we can't find it in the book?
It's right there.
Where does it say that I have to identify somebody else?
I said earlier that I had to identify the code driver.
Did you ask him or did you ask me? Okay, thank you very much for reading. I'm glad you're at least literate. It's sad you can't provide your name when I asked for it.
I'll talk to your carrier on Monday when they're open for business.
Oh, you're more than welcome. I'll give you the phone number now.
Rocky, there's been a video that you've done a while back, but it seems like a lot of YouTube people are sharing it and it's catching some steam, and a lot of truck drivers have been sending it to me, and I said, you know what? Instead of just trying to put some clips out and say my own opinion, I was like, why don't I have the man on himself and and see what's really going on here. So, I mean, can you introduce yourself, Rocky?
Yeah, my name's Rocky Chevalier Sr., and I think when I started my YouTube channel, it was all about just giving the middle finger to the police. And it's not out of any particular reason. It really is. There's no hatred. The middle finger to me, I don't take, some people just don't take things serious in life. That's one of those things I don't take serious. I literally give my kids the middle finger almost every day we see each other. They gave it to me. My wife, my background photo on my phone is my wife giving me the middle finger. I just think it's hilarious. And so if someone gets bothered by that, that tells me you don't have enough problems in your life and you're concerned about little things. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. No, I got you. I got you.
So whether or not your emotions are in check, I think.
No, I hear you. So it's this game that you like to play that's an inside joke almost for yourself while you're driving. Every time you see a police officer or DOT, even it don't
Yeah,
matter.
DOT. I've never had no problem except for that one video. Yeah.
So on video now, I'm gonna put your YouTube links and everything on there. But how many? We were talking off camera. How many times have you done this on video?
There's probably close to 300 some videos on my YouTube channel of me giving cops middle fingers.
And it's just
And
this inside joke.
that that middle finger was probably like number 235 or something like that. Yeah.
Gotcha, Rocky. I just wanted to set the playing field straight that this is just something fun that you do on your YouTube channel, and you do it to your kids, and it's just like it's not because you have hatred and this and that from the bottom of your heart for anybody. So, you know.
My wife just walked in the door.
Yeah. You're like, Happy Valentine's Day, right? So I just wanted to put that out there first, just so that, if there's anyone just trying to attack, saying, why is this guy doing this to people? Right. Hey, you're just having fun, right?
It's not, I don't hate nobody. I think it's funny.
I heard that. Speaking of that now, so you see this police officer on the side, you give the middle finger. Okay, walk us through a little bit of what's happening, and then I'll play the clip later on when I put that together.
Yeah, seeing the cop, I have a small, tiny handheld camera with no screen on it, and to turn it on, it's just a one switch, turn on, turn off, and that's all the camera does is on up. It's pretty easy. And when you hit the switch, it turns on in like 4.25 seconds. And so I see the cop, I turn it on, I'm on the phone with my wife, my earpiece. You can hear me on the phone with my wife there. And so I let her go because I see that he's exiting the center of the road. And so I had pulled over. And from there, everything you see is what happened. And it took a total something like 52 minutes between being stopped and before I was able to go again. Prior to this, I wouldn't recommend everybody do it, but prior to this, I had both my bosses full permission to do this. They see no problem with it. They still don't see no problem with it. The only issue that my manager brought up was just be more mindful when you do this activity where your co-driver could be woken up because of what you're doing. So that's why the videos have reduced, because I am a team driver, and that was disrespectful of me to do something to where my co-driver was affected. I was actually training him that day. That was his second week on the job. So, yeah.
No, I got you. No, so yeah. Overall, did you end up with a clean inspection?
Yes. I don't know. He didn't do the inspection the way that he was supposed to, obviously, but yeah, he didn't. He could have written me up for so many things he never did. Never did. I didn't have a proper log. One. He could have written me up for my air hoses touching on the dolly. The spring, it's on the video. The spring on the dolly that holds the air hoses up, that spring was literally broken in half. He could have written me up for that. But I think he was so tied up and being offended that he wasn't thinking straight. And since then, I've learned that, I don't have to participate in the inspection. And so if that were to happen again, I'd just sit there like a rag doll and be like, well, you can operate the truck if you want to, but I'm not doing it. There's no law requiring me to touch buttons or hit four ways or flashlights or nothing like that anyway, or headlights rather. So yeah, that's the only thing I would do different.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anything that you would like the world to know? The truckers out there in general?
Yeah. What I was telling you earlier when we had started talking was just knowing how to talk to an officer if you don't know the laws or your rights. Because it doesn't matter how many laws you have memorized in your head. If you got a book in front of you, it doesn't matter how many rights you think you got. But if you don't know how to talk to a cop, then you're best off not to talk at all. But the rule I go by is know one thing in life, and that one thing you need to know is that you don't know everything. So be the investigator. You be the investigator. Ask questions. And if you don't know what question to ask next, because they're asking you questions, ask them if you have to do that. And so it's important, because if they say, give me your driver's license, well, maybe you don't have to give your driver's license. So ask them, do I have to? And ask that respectfully.
Mm.
Because respect goes a long way. It really does. And
You know,
a middle finger is not disrespect. As much as people argue that it is,
right.
it only is to the person who doesn't have real problems in life. So if you got like bills to pay and kids to feed, you don't worry about a middle finger. You know what I mean?
No, I hear that. What's the most negative comments that you usually get in your comments when it comes to this game that you play?
It's mostly people that are just upset with their own lives and they project their problems onto me and they'll say things like, "Oh, you just hate all cops." And one is, my wife wants to kick my butt half the time for publishing my phone number because I'll give it to anybody. I'm not scared to talk to people. And so one of the people that has actually returned that phone call, I mean, aside from you, would be a gentleman named Mike Brown. And he and
Mm.
I had a 14-minute phone call, something like that, and I recorded it. And that's on my YouTube channel. And that is a great example of where somebody who is more so upset that they couldn't even have a conversation. They just had things to say. I mean, he was disrespectful, mean, belligerent, called names, and at no point in time did I as much as raise my voice because I have no reason to be upset. So it was just a way to exposing him of his emotional, his emotions at that time, And
No,
it's
I hear you.
there's nothing to be upset about. Hey, you seen
You
a
d-
guy flip off a cop? No big deal.
I almost feel like it's a little bit like for entertainment, right? Like
Yeah,
that was kind of like your little niche. Like, hey, my YouTube channel is I'm a truck driver that every time I see a cop, I flip them off and I record it. I mean, pretty much was it for entertainment?
that's all. It's entertainment and education. That's all that is. Because
Okay.
there's so many people who are scared of cops, and there's reasons to be scared. There really is, and there's reasons why you should like learn how to talk to them. I mean, first off, be respectful. I mean, as you can tell at the end of the video, I wish the guy a good day or whatever it was, and he had no animosity against me whatsoever. It seemed, and then 2 weeks later, ironically, the same truck, the same police officer passed me up in that same area, and I recorded it again with my camera, holding my camera up, and gave him the middle finger. And that video is on YouTube as well. And he just, I don't know if he shook his head, but he did look up, and you seen his face, and you knew it was him. He just passed me up and kept on going. He just knew I was more than what his normal person was that he would deal with on a daily basis. You know what I mean?
No, but
Yeah, I don't.
Rocky, I mean, you do. I mean, you do. I know that. I know that that a figure shouldn't mean anything, but you can see why that might rile up somebody, right? A little
Oh
bit,
yeah,
right?
I've been
Come
chased
on,
down.
Rocky.
I've been chased down before by a normal person because I think giving the middle finger to anybody is funny, not just police officers. It just I don't know. I got bigger problems with whether or not a middle finger bothers my emotions.
I I don't even know what to put for this title. I'm gonna put uh, the truck driver that has flipped off. You're like Guinness Book of World Records. I think you flipped off more cops than anybody in the world
Well,
on caught on video.
I remember I listened to 700 WOW years ago, a Cincinnati radio station, right? And there was
Yeah.
a guy on there probably 12 years ago. They were interviewing him because he flipped off every cop he seen his like last 20 years or whatever it was. And the first 50 can make you nervous. It really can. But once you realize those cops are not looking inside each and individual window as they drive by at 70 miles per hour, then you can get away with a lot. And then you realize it's not ballsy at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not a
Yeah.
ballsy thing to do. You just need to be more responsible than what I was, having a co-driver and doing it. You know
Right.
what I mean? So that's my only regret there.
No, I got you. Overall, I think people could tell from the video out to talk to you. You're trucking, you're having a good time, and you found a way to pass your time while driving. And
Yeah.
that was your thing, So overall, all I got to say is I wish you the best, brother, on everything. I'm sure there's probably going to be some negative comments where they're like, how
Bring
dare
them.
he do this? But I won't delete comments. I don't do any of that. And I'm sure by talking to you, you don't want me to either.
I don't care what people got to say. If they got something to say, say it, get it off your chest, and have a point behind it. Because if
Mm.
you just like I recommend anybody to look up that guy who called me what's his name? I said it a moment ago. Mike Brown.
Like a Mike
Mike
Brown.
Brown. Just type in Mike Brown on YouTube. I'm sure he'll be. Well, there's actually a lot of singers named Mike Brown, jazz and whatnot. So if you go to my channel, look for like a Mike Brown, then you can see what kind of a person falls apart during a conversation about something where somebody's upset about me giving them a middle finger. So it's not me the fault that falls apart. I'm not bothered by it.
No, I hear you, brother. All I have to say is I thought it was just something where a lot of people I read in comments, and I was like, wait a minute, no one's actually ever asked you, Rocky. So I thought, let's interview the man and really see what it is. And at the end of the day, after seeing you flip off your wife for Valentine's Day, I mean, you're pretty much buy her some good dinner tonight. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's where we're going to next, I think.
Hey, at the end of the day, man, I appreciate you. There's gonna be a lot of truck drivers driving down the road and listening to this. And if anything, you put some entertainment, some laughter in their life, and they're gonna be able to get to their next load. Or even if they're angry, they're gonna be more awake and alert and get to the next load. And so you did something for people today. So I appreciate that, brother.
Let me give everybody a takeaway. One of the things I want everybody to do is do not do what I do. Do not do what I did unless you are supported by the people who hire you. Because if you make them look bad, then they can make your job go away. So make sure that you're covered before you ever do something like this. I make sure thoroughly that both my bosses supported this before I ever considered doing it. So don't just do this recklessly. Do it with think about it, and then know what you're going to say before it happens, because you know what the cop's going to say. Why'd you do that to me? Or I'm just going to do a random inspection with that, and he may not even mention the middle finger. So this is education and entertainment. So it's important to have support. Otherwise, you may not have a job.
I'm going to actually put that right in the beginning, Rocky.
Okay.
I'm going to put that in the beginning, and then I'm going to put the fact that this is a game that you play and something that you post to your YouTube as fun, education, and entertainment. Yeah. And then after that, we'll go through it, and then I'll show the clip. That way, people have a better understanding. And if they don't understand, then I guess they don't.
Yeah. So if you don't understand and you do this stuff, then you could, I'm sure you could easily lose your job, or you have a contract with somebody. It's not just about entertainment. It really is. It's about your own safety, because we all need economic safety. And if you don't have a job, then you're in trouble. So gotcha. Just like the saying is, whatever it is, everything's fun and games till somebody gets hurt. And if you can't pay your bills, somebody's getting hurt. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So at the end of the legacy of Rocky and giving cops the middle finger, is this something that's still going on to this day?
When I'm not teaming, yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. I have a Instagram account called Flipping Off the Police, I think it is. I haven't posted there in a while, but there's a lot of individual singular clips of just, me giving the middle finger as I drive by. Yeah. That's where there's a compilation of them, but there's smaller compilations on my YouTube channel.
Okay. Can you please, before you go out to dinner, just send me a couple of those links? Because regardless, I want to thank you for being on the show, and people that are interested in this type of content and they want to see more. I want to be able to support you in that way, Yeah. And so I'm actually really pleased that this was just a great conversation, and it's not because you have such a distaste for somebody. It seems like it's just a game.
No, I've got reasons to hate people. I just don't have it in me. You know what I mean? It's just, life's too short. Why be angry?
I hear you. Well, I appreciate you, brother.
Speaking of which, my children.
Hey, I got love for you, brother. I appreciate you. Keep trucking, brother.
Yeah, take it easy, man.